Bum, 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 bum. All right. Almost there. And there we go. Hello, 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 everybody. Hello. Hello, Ghostly. Welcome. Can you play the hype song again, please? I missed. Oh, the first one. Hold on. Here we go. We'll hype it up just for you, Ghostly. There we go. This is the one I always open with. I'm assuming this is what you're talking about. Hey, oi, Zell. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, let me get Notion up here really quick. Alright, there we go. There we go. I've got my stuff up. There we are. How is everybody? How is everybody on Thursday? Welcome to the canceled and then uncanceled stream. I'm so glad you could all make it. So glad I could make it. I know, I do love this song way more than I have any right to love it. The decanceled, exactly. I actually will have to shift over my secondary screen here to my other computer and finish. I have to send an email out. So I'll do that on the first sprint. Because the world was on fire this morning. Twilight woke up to a burning, burning world this morning. But I am glad that at least I was able to put it out enough to be here with you fine, lovely folk. But how goes the week? How is everybody? The kids are asleep. You have the best little emoji. The GIF cat. The glitch cat. I love it. Burning world sounds bad. Yeah, I woke up and I had sent out a draft of... The problem is that they changed... Originally, all these pork videos I was editing were just for internal. Like, it was them to look good for, like, corporate board, presentations to things, like, stuff like that. And then they changed... They wanted the first two to be essentially, like, people-facing. So, essentially, like, full-on advertisements. The kind of stuff you would see on YouTube and stuff, but they didn't shoot anything, so I kind of had to... I've been pretty much having to make nothing but, like, infographics, kind of like the stuff you see on Vox videos, and just try to get enough B-roll through, like, stock footage websites that makes any kind of sense into what they're talking about, which is also very specific pork nonsense. So... so that's what I'm doing. I'm essentially doing pork videos for the National Pork Board. Some of it's internal, and some of it's now, I guess, going to be like people facing or public facing. And so that's kind of. I woke up to a lot of notes this morning. Is what I'll say. So it turned into me desperately trying to do it, but unfortunately the software, the stuff we use for like feedback notes, was down. So I have to go and make sure that is back up and running before I send the email with the updated cut. So I'll do that on the first sprint while everybody's writing. And then hopefully after that I can actually partake in being creative and not having to look at pork videos for the rest of the day. I can actually, like, write. I can, do right things. Like the writing part. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. As Prince Zuko would once say. That is rough, buddy. Also, just I'm sure I'm pretty sure it's abundantly obvious how much of an Avatar fan I was because both of my cats were named after Avatar characters. But I do love that Zuko says that in response to "my girlfriend turned into the moon." It's one of the best responses ever. By the way, my girlfriend turned into the moon. That's rough, buddy. 'Cause not wrong. Ghostly hashtag relatable. Kids are sleep facts. Yeah, it's hard to argue with, man. Like, not any. That's if I was lamenting, being like, oh man, I got dumped. Yeah, well, mine turned into the moon. It's like, oh, well, shit. I can't. Man, all right. Just gonna just that whole convo was amazing. It really was. The kids are asleep. It is a really great convo. Shh, princess. Because you did. You did. You went and turned into the moon. But you didn't turn into the moon. You just turned into a fussy cat that yells at me all day. I have not... Oh, how goes the Ghostly Challenge? I have not started the Ghostly Challenge yet. That will get started. You know what? I think I'm going to start the Ghostly Challenge when I start pages on Pawn Boys. So, originally that was supposed to be Monday this week, but thanks to pork video, the pork videos, I had to delay the start of all that. So I'll probably start that this weekend. Maybe on Friday. Maybe that'll be the thing. Maybe I'll when I stream on Friday, I'll have an update for you, Ghostly, about how the first day of the Ghostly challenge goes. And then from there, desperately try to like carve out at least an hour, because I have to do it in terms of time. I can't do it in terms of like word count or how much. But if I can at least just sacrifice an hour out of my day to write, I think that should be good. If I can do that every day, including days where my life is on fire, like today, then I will have. If I can do that, and if I can do that for, over 1,000 days like Ghostly, then I will feel. I feel like we will have won, or I will have won. I have a feeling I will not be able to keep that up till my dying day, but if I can at least come close to you, Ghostly, at least come somewhat close, I will feel like I've accomplished something great. All right. Well, let me bring up the timer. Yay, timer's up. Boo! There we go. All right. Well, why don't we just hop right into it and get started on a sprint? Yeah. Let's get to swabbing them decks, everybody. Let's get to swabbing the decks. I will not lie, the temptation to write a field guide is real. You should definitely write a field guide to go with Moon Runes' the challenge thing. Like an on-the-ground field guide, I think, would be perfect. Alright, let me get the timer going, and let's just hop right on in here, everybody. But I'll be active in the chat, if everybody wants to keep on chatting it up. But I'm sure some people want to work. Alright. Happy writing. I hope it's a good and productive sprint, and we'll see you on the other side. All right, everybody, that is the end of that sprint. Hopefully it was a productive one. Life with Lex, welcome in. How are you? Doing pretty well. Hope you're feeling better. I am. I think I'm finally on the other side of this thing. It was what a sickness, man. I'm still coming to terms with the fact of what it means to have a body in my 30s. Because apparently sometimes you get sick where it just doesn't go away. it won't leave. But no, I'm feeling much better. Definitely on the mend, if not totally mended by now. So that's good. Now it's just putting out the professional fires of my life, which looks like I'm done. Ghostly, hoy hoy hoy. It was a good sprint. I managed to finish the remainder. It looks like I think I'm done. I think I'm done with the pork nonsense. So now I can actually just finish up the D&D recap notes from this week and then move on to working on the mech. So I'm feeling good about getting writing done. Woohoo! No more bacon. Oh, I mean, there's still plenty more bacon. I'm going to be working on bacon till the middle of March, but the fire I woke up to this morning that I had to cancel and then resume stream because of it looks like it is finally over. At least for today. So it does look like we're gonna have an ad hitting here in a moment, so if you get hit by ads, feel free to step away, make some tea, and we'll see you back in about 2 minutes. Woohoo, less disastrous bacon. Thank you, Lex. Exactly. Ghostly, I am happy. I'm going to get... Oh, you're going to have D&D Sunday instead of in 3 weeks? That's good. Yes, and I know you said you ended on a cliffhanger, Ghostly, so that's exciting. Yes. The cliffhanger will resolve, and hopefully resolve where you are free, where your character is free to escape the mildly problematic highwayman. So... The uncomfy cliffhanger, yes. Luckily, I bid you a quick and speedy escape from problematic highwayman. Yes, they I had the D&D game. Usually I do it on Mondays, but we had to do it last night, and they managed to outfox a fae, so. Now but by outfoxing a fae, the rogue in the party has a fairy that is madly in love with him, and won't leave him alone, and is also charged with tracking them for the hag in which they work. So, currently, I have a character who's trying to like get a fairy drunk and putting the fairy in a bag of holding because they don't want to deal with the fairy. So. It's good times. Oh no, stab him, Ghostly. I agree, Lex. Stab him. Give him a good stab. I have an awful nickname for him. May I share? Of course, Ghostly. You're more than welcome to share. Life with Lex. Absolutely love that. Thank you. Yes, I do. I think they dubbed the name of the session. What did they dub the name of the session? Oh, where the NPC was like, "Did you put the fairy in the bag of holding?" I think, or something like that. And that's what they're calling the session, was the bag of holdings. Did you put the fairy in a bag of holdings session? Let's see. Oh yeah, and now they're reminding themselves that don't open the bag of holding. That's a vibe, indeed. So he's a Pied Piper type character, so naturally he should be deemed the pedo. That's good. I don't know why, but that feels like an It's Always Sunny joke. That's good, Ghostly. I mean that is naturally the name you would come up with. Point of order, RE bags of holding. LO, do you play where living things can go in the bag of holding? I am in this, so this one's kind of a different thing. So they met the NPC that they met that had this bag of holding is a part of like a powerful ranger group. Kind of, they're like in a frontier archipelago out like way out in the wilds, and this one ranger was charged with finding this very special bag of holding. So I'm playing it that this is a unique bag of holding that this ranger had to go find from like as an ancient artifact. So it's like it's not just a normal bag of holding. It's a special ancient type of bag of holding. Also, the party members don't know this, and I don't think any of them watch these streams, so I don't care. But there is a monster in that bag of holding that sneaks out in the middle of the night and murders people. So they don't know that yet, though. So I'm definitely leaning into the living things can go in there. Gotcha, very cool. Our DM is like, you can put whatever in a bag of holding, but it will be dead. Oh, gotcha, yeah. I feel like that's normal for a bag of holding. It depends how you want to think about demiplanes. I remember we had... This goes back to 2nd edition. This is like way back 2nd edition D&D, so... And kind of cosmology and how demiplanes works is different in like 5th edition now. But back in 2nd edition, we had a Rod of Paradise, which was essentially a demiplane, and that's where we would go like camp. That's where if we needed to break and camp and heal up if we were in the middle of a really gnarly dungeon, but we didn't know how many charges were on this Rod of Paradise. And I remember that we could survive in that demiplane. There was like air to breathe and things like that. But like I remember the DM was like doing mechanics to be like, you can only have so many things in there before they suffocate. And I do remember we actually got a village of Smurfs, because Smurfs were in this world. There were gnomes, and then there were Smurfs, and we saved a village of Smurfs, and we gave them their new home in this Rod of Paradise, and that didn't kill them. So anyway, it's an old D&D story. Mr. Cat, oh dear, I like the sneaky monster on a killing spree. That's very fun. Yeah, it also freaks them out where people just start dying where they're going and they have no idea why until one of them catches something crawling out of the bag of holding. Because then now I can get funky and make them have to have an entire dungeon crawl inside the bag of holding, and that sounds fun to me. I don't know why, but I just think that's a fun little side story quest that they can go on that I think is pretty cool. We have a guy in our party who has his Speedo as a bag of holding. We're a special group. Ghostly, that's amazing. Your group is a whole vibe. You know what your group reminds me of is the one time I ran... You have to remember when I ran D&D, a lot of the people I played with didn't know what D&D was, or vaguely knew of it, but that sounds like when I tried to do it with a bunch of kids in my drama class in high school. That sounds like something that they did. They would do back then. Life with Lex, that's awesome. Yes, I thought so. He calls himself Grand Puppy. Ghostly, your D&D group is full of just of cartoon characters. Mildly inappropriate, like Adult Swim era cartoon characters is your entire D&D group. Hey, Maya. Hey, how goes it? Welcome in. The popular chain, Hamburger Emperor, known for its fries and burgers, and its mascot who wears a crown and has a big beard. So, Maya, extend break. Of course you did. Coming in to extend the break. Okay. We'll extend the break. We just did like a chat-centric... Oh, you want me to read... Oh my god, you were just coming in with craziness. Okay, you want me to read work on stream, so we'll do that after our sprints. What work am I reading on stream, Maya? Is it yours? I know you sent me yours, so... You want me to read your thing? Okay. All right, cool. I will read it on stream. Let me open the Discord here really quick. Extending the breaks. All right. Wait, where did Discord go? If you'd be okie smoky with that, yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, you did the thing. You did the thing. That's what it's there for. We're just getting wild. I do have a meeting I have to go to at 7:30 tonight, though, so we'll try to do as many sprints as we can before I do that. But I'll reserve essentially the time for the last sprint to read on stream. Let's see, Ghostly. I have no idea what's happening most of the time, but I am the only person in the group of 4 with positive intelligence. I mean, that's that's funny. That is funny, Ghostly. So you're the only one who can do it. How many words do you think we can get done? Like 30? Like 20K? No. In 30 minutes, probably not. I highly doubt that. All right, let's see. We're gonna extend the break by 10. All right. Wish I could. Actually, let me see how I do that. All right. I wish I could get 20K in 30 minutes. Yeah, right. I wish that. All right. Let's stop. Let me see here. Boop boo. Maya, you're right. 20K is too low. 30K it is then. All right. How are you, friends? How is Lex and Maya? Yeah, how goes things, Lex and Maya? How are you? I know I definitely Lex and I've been feeling Lex when it comes to like January, the beginning of this year did not start fantastically. So hopefully it's going better. Even better, write 20K in 30 minutes. That would be amazing if that was possible. Hey, Terrible Novelist was looking for you. Oh, yeah. Are they on? I think they're on right now. I think Terrible Novelist is on. I'm doing okay, trying to get schoolwork done before. Here, I'll just do the timer on my phone. This makes life easier on me. All right. Let's see here. Oh, he was. You're doing. Trying to get schoolwork done before. Oh, you have friends coming over this weekend? Well, that sounds fun, Lex. That sounds like a great time. Pretty excellent. Everyone's doing well, it seems like. I've been writing a second story on my phone while I'm away from my laptop. You are the only person I'm amazed that you can do that, Maya. I know you write that way. I'm just always amazed that you can do that. Always amazed that you can write. That's so just alien to me, writing on a phone. With my crazy chubby fingers, I'd just be like, ah. Let's see. Dude, January fucking sucks so far. February, good. I am glad it is much better, Lex. That is good. That's what we seek. It's what we need. Is better January, or better months than. Yeah, it was just. I just watched everything kind of. As far as like trying to get on a schedule, get everything finished, like move on to get all the writing projects and all the things I need to get done this year. Just everything died in January. And then, like, when the glasses broke and I got sick was, like, the way to end that month that just wrecked me. So, so I'm much more welcoming of February. I had to write on my phone while I was on a cruise. Was a unique experience. Made me broaden my horizons on locations I've written. Yeah. I can see why it'd be useful. I'm not a big, like, vocal, like, like talk notes, you know, like recording notes to yourself. That's usually what I use the phone for if I have to write anything down. But yeah, I don't. It's just such a. It's a weird thing. I have like a tiny notebook Like, this is what I carry around with me. Is I'll have a little notebook that I keep in a pocket with a pencil, and that's usually how I do it. Because for whatever reason, I can't. Using phones is alien to me. Also, I've started the pretentious field guide. I love it, Ghostly. Fantastic. I'm so glad you have the field guide. I have this idea for a world that is separated by something called the world lines. These lines don't allow technology over a certain level or else it be destroyed. So continents are separated and some have more technology than others. Of course, there's magic, and it has diesel punk. Ooh, diesel. I like diesel punk. Very like Mad Max type stuff. Diesel punk touch to it, with urban fantasy mixed in. Okay. Also mildly military. So it sounds like a cool world. I like the idea of like world lines where like technology. It's interesting if you get into the mechanics of what caused that. I've got this whole thing worked out that reminds me of Zammed, enjoying the shit out of it. Cool, very cool. I dig it. Mad Max's Scrap Punk? Okay, yeah. I mean, Road Warrior's all about gasoline and diesel, so when I hear diesel punk, I'm like, that sounds like Mad Max. Life with Lex, to be fair, it couldn't get worse. The bar was in hell. Good lord, Lex, I'm so sorry it was that low. Limbo dancing with the devil. The kids are asleep. I ride my phone pretty much every day. Most impressive. Most impressive. Sorted. Go say, I totally forgot I once wrote a short story about a spy sneaking into an amusement park while I was at a concert. That's cool. I sat on the ground and hid under my jacket. That's amazing, Ghostly. That's awesome. Katie May Wright. Hi. Welcome in, Katie May Wright. Oh, no, I did not see your question. Okay, that might be. Did you write a question? Did I not see it? Sorted. I just saw sorted. What was your... Go ahead and resend... What was your question, Mr. Cat? Because I don't... For some reason, I don't see it. I'm scrolling back through chat, so I might have missed it. I might have missed the question. Oh, what makes a good... Okay. My Mad Max's scrap Fallout chips and power suits. Oh, Fallout... Really? That's what they call diesel punk? Is like Fallout? Like, you're talking about the video games Fallout? Is what they refer to as diesel punk? That's interesting. Okay. I mean, I can kind of see that. It makes sense, I guess. What makes a good fight scene? I mean, what makes a good fight scene is a good question. I can think of that in two ways. I can think of that in a cinematic way, like in movies. In a book, it's funny. I don't read a lot of books with action in them. So that's... And I do find I do find a lot of description of action, unless it's very short and to the point, tedious and boring. So I guess for a book, it would be like keeping it brief would hold my attention a lot more than like a very detailed, prolonged action sequence. In a film, I think what makes a good action scene is obviously like is visual geometry and visual like stakes. Like your stakes, emotional stakes work, but I think you need a visual sort of a grounding visual thing to make your stakes or make the combat itself dynamic. I'm trying to think of a good example of that. Because when I think about action sequences, I feel like even fight scenes are just similar to car chase scenes where you have a gimmick, but the stakes themselves, like the dangers presented, obviously outside of just being like your life, escaping with your life, I think you need something visually, you need a visual reference that provides a I'm trying to think how best you need a visual reference for the sort of like for the geometry of the scene to work. is the best way I can say. So it's like a set piece, but you need it. It doesn't need to be as broad as a set piece. I don't know. I might have to think about that because I feel like I just babbled incoherently and none of that made sense. I'm gonna have to think about that. Katie May, I'm good as usual. I got on the computer wanting to do something else, but got distracted by the numerous A3 stuff. Okay. New PV for Act 4, new point of view. Okay. Plus, it's Miku's. Oh, really? Birthday today. Really? Oh, man. So it's a busy day. My Diesel Punk is a mixture of modern with heavy emphasis on over-engineering and heavy use of diesel mechanical tech. Think the remakes of Wolfenstein? Okay. Yeah, I'm not nearly as familiar with that then. I mean, most punk is over-engineered. I feel like that's just a part of, like, steampunk, cyberpunk, diesel punk, or scrap punk. It like, relies very heavily on things being hyper, like, the complexity is not necessary. But that's part of the aesthetic of it. But I guess it, like, a modern with heavy emphasis and heavy use of diesel mechanical tech. Okay. I mean, that feels like, yeah. I'll have to look. I'll need, like, visual example. I guess I'll look at some of the Wolfenstein stuff. I've started Digimon / A3 fanfic. Okay, to get better at writing action scenes. Don't know how far I've gotten with that. I feel like, yeah, writing action scenes for novels, I would not be the person to ask about that. Because I just feel like I'm not going to have a good answer. Marie Brennan has a book about writing fight scenes. Oh, I'm going to look that up. Marie Brennan. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to look that. I'm going to peruse that. Because that seems like a really good reference book. Mr. DeCat, that might be great for you. If you end up writing a ton of action scenes, like, maybe something like that. Like, and it looks like she's... That's probably going to be a far better reference than just me. Fight scene should have a wax and wane, speed and flow with the plot. I use descriptions of movement mixed with light dialogue and internal thought for fight scenes as it reps. Yeah, that makes sense, Maya. That most of what I've read seems to be a mixture of that. When I read, like, novels, action scenes in novels, it's usually, like, the internal, like, last minute thoughts mixed with, oh, and that is the end of the extended break. So that's kind of... That seems to be, like... I do like the idea of a wax and a wane, a speed, and slow with a plot. I guess it's pacing. It really just comes down to pacing. Gotcha, PV promotional video. Thank you, Katie May, because I would have missed that. I would have... it makes sense. I would look into some of your favorite fight scenes and books and figure out what you like about it. Brandon Sanderson has good examples in his series. Yeah, Brandon Sanderson writes a lot of them, too. Yes, thank you. The kids are asleep. That's going to be far more helpful. Life with Lex, I feel like it depends on the style of fighting. Martial fighting versus ranged would be totally different. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to have to sit and think about what makes a good fight scene cinematically, too. Because it's like, it's one of those things, you know it where you can see it. I don't tend to write a lot of action, but it is one of the unique forms of cinema that is kind of what made cinema famous. So I have to think about that. I have to think about a good way to explicate that and describe it. I feel like I have failed in that sense. I need to clarify my thoughts on that. Yeah, martial fighting versus range would be completely different and described completely, as it should be described differently. I love writing action scenes. I definitely tend toward a sort of, choreograph them in my head like a movie. Yeah, I feel like that's normal because you are just trying to paint the image so the person can visualize it in your head. I hate overly long fight scenes that last 20 episodes. Well, yes. Yeah, that's why I was never a Dragon Ball Z fan. I mean, the fights don't even last that long. It's just the power-ups that last forever and makes me want to go to sleep. They're going to be very important for my... Oh, your main work in progress? Fantastic. Good. Katie May Wright, I also found out that Miku's voice actress also voices Cody, Lori, and Digimon, The Last Evolution, presumably at the beginning. Really? I didn't know that. That's, I mean, or Muku's voice actors. Um, that is, I mean, I'm no expert about voice actors. I can recognize them when I hear them, but I don't know the names very well. But I'm pretty good at picking them up. Sorry, the Namek saga was way too long. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. There's no faster way to bore me than indulgent action scenes. Like it's really It's why I don't watch shonen anime. I like well animated action scenes, but if it is long, I'm checking out. It just does not work for me. The joke answer fight scenes are like sex scenes. You have to know where the character's hands are at all times. I love that the kids are asleep. That's great. Yep. Yep. You can get away with anything as long as you know where their hands are at all times. Lori, as in A-R-E. Is that a character? Katie, be right? You might be going way over my head with some of these. Is A-R-E an anime or a character? Maya, but the climax was gold. Pure fucking gold. I don't care for Dragon Ball, but the climax of the Namek saga was, okay. Okay. Yeah, I was checked out way before that. But people love it. There's a reason why. I'm sure sometimes it's just the journey was not worth it to get there. For me, at least. All right, let's go ahead, and we've had a 20-minute break. Let's go ahead and dive back into our sprints. But I'll still be chatting it up in the chat for everybody who wants to keep on talking. But for everybody who wants to work, let us be on our way and hit those words. You'll be lurking away, Maya. All right, and away we go. Happy writing, everybody. All right, everybody, that's the end of that sprint. Let me bring the music down a little bit. And yeah, I think we're going to have ads hit, so feel free to step away. Yeah, ads are going to hit just about now, so step away, make some tea, stretch, do all the things to dodge the capitalism. And then, yeah, we will hang out and start the down timer. And let's see, what time is it? We'll probably do... what's that going to put me at? All right, I think we'll be able to do one more sprint, and then I will end the sprints, and we'll do the we'll read Maya's at least the beginning of Maya's Outsiders on stream, and we'll do that for like the last half an hour. Yes, hopefully the words flowed well. Hopefully everybody got some writing done. I feel like the whole first part of the day has been me just trying to catch up on D&D, and now I'm actually able to work on the next project. Because I have no idea how field guides are, but I'm doing something. You are doing something. It's great. It's a ghostly field guide doesn't need to be like any other field guide. You can make it wholly your own and unique to the let it lean into the uniqueness that is what it means to write for 1200 days straight. You know, it's all good to do that. Yep. Holy cow, 1200 days straight is so impressive. I know, Lex, it's wild. I don't know how Ghostly has managed to do it, but the force of will that is required to make that work will always be impressive. Mayachi, Milk Empress, chain known for its ice cream, and the mascot, a chain known for its a mascot of a baked goth mommy with a cow pint shirt on. Did you just make that up, Maya, or are you saying that's a real thing? Are you saying that or is it just a random thing you came across? What? What are you talking about? Oh, thank you. I will share my secrets. Share all your secrets, Ghostly. I am no gatekeeper of unhealthy writing. I know. There are a lot of people who have a lot of it. Life with Lex, that's 40 NaNoWriMos in a row. Yeah, that's a lot. And Ghostly somehow makes it work. Making slow progress. I think Defoe definitely be done by the end of the night. Awesome. Well, that's good. That's good progress. Good progress being made all around. I've definitely, because I'm starting so many things right now, I'm getting the itch to be like, I want to finish a thing and have that, like, that sweet, sweet feeling of finishing a thing. But it's going to be a while. Definitely have start projects as you're finishing. I feel like if you can keep a constant train. Hello, Princess. Hello, yes. I know you're still there. I wish it were 3. Oh, how I wish. Good Lord, Maya Archie. Good Lord. Why? Oh, I was gonna say, Maya Archie. There's I was looking up just Diesel Punk to try to get it. So it seems like Diesel Punk definitely is kind of like the antithesis to like BioShock, kind of like the Art Deco, but the dystopian version of Art Deco. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but a really good movie that I think would fit that aesthetic, that is a genuinely really great movie, is called Brazil. Highly recommend Brazil. For anyone out there who likes movies that have that kind of weird aesthetic, it's directed by Terry Gilliam, who was one of the few... He was the only American member of Monty Python, but he made movies like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, 12 Monkeys, things like that. But my favorite movie of his is called Brazil, and it kind of fits that aesthetic, I think. But I highly recommend it. It was from the 80s. Yeah. Ghostly, it's called Dramatic Pause, Ghostly's Guide to All the Words. I love it. Good, Ghostly. That works. It fits well. Yeah, that's a good title, Ghostly. You've nailed the title. Maya, welcome to Brazil. Yes. Yep. The opening of the movie is the song Brazil. I like that song, so. But it's a very good movie. Very like dystopian. Everything's like bureaucratic, but also kind of your own mind starts to go away. You start being like captured by fantasies, and the despair that is an overly authoritarian civilization that you live in. It's a very good movie. One of my favorites. Great, like, underappreciated side performances by Robert De Niro, too. Where he just plays a bit part, but it's really good. Anyway, that's my movie recommendation for the day, for anybody who's interested, is Brazil. I know forever ago I promised Moon Runes and some other folks that I would put up, like, my quote-unquote canon that I have still to get around to. Someday. I'll get there someday. I'm just slow, everybody. I'm slow, and I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry how slow I am. That's why I like Zammed. It's because it's a mix of diesel punk and biopunk. Nice. Zammed is that an anime? I feel like I've heard that name. Oh, Princess. Oh, yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay, I've seen this. I haven't seen the anime, but I'm aware of this. Man, they just don't make... They don't... Man, the character... What happened with the character animating? Like, just the character... I miss old character designs in anime. Like, just... I mean, it could be anything. From the 80s... Like, even 70s. I mean, no one's going to be better than Leiji Yamamoto. Or Leiji Matsumoto. But, like, just, man, anything that escapes just the little, I don't know, Moe. There was some good stuff that came out of Moe, but this is like a side rant, but I feel like Moe just ruined character designs in animation, in particularly Japanese anime, and it makes me very sad. Makes me very sad. That's my hot take. That's my that's Wilight's spicy anime take for the day. Hidden Gem of anime, fantastic. Legit Hidden Gem, easily one of the best anime. Awesome. I'll give it a watch then. I've seen it. I've definitely seen it around. I'm pretty sure I've had people talk about it too. Ghostly, when are you supposed to stream next? Scheduled to stream on Friday at the normal time with like no craziness, nothing like that. I know I said I was going to stream Thursday because I was worried about canceling today. But I don't know if I'm going to stream Thursday. But Friday I'll be streaming. With a maybe stream on Thursday. If I just, for some reason, want to do three days this week. But because of how crazy the work schedule has been, it's a little rough. But yeah, Friday for sure. If we're talking anime Rex, Heaven's design team is definitely up there. Are you talking about Heavenly Delusion? Heavenly Delusion's design team, because I do like that anime, the character designs of that anime. That was one of the few recent animes that I there's a few out there, and obviously like the new Star Blazers that are coming out because they're built off of Leiji Matsumoto's designs from the original Star Blazers in the 70s. So I like those, but a lot of the anime that I tend to like, the character designs I tend to like go back to. Like, my favorite designs were anything based on Yoshitaka Amano. So, like, anything Kawajiri did back in the 80s and the early 90s, up all the way up till the early 2000s with Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. Oh, Heaven's design team. Okay. Let me check that out. I'm not aware of that. If we're talking anime, Heaven's design team. I have never heard of that. My Archie, 2005 had my favorite designs for characters. Okay. There was some good stuff in that period. Yeah, and Heavenly Delusion does have that type of aesthetic. In the beginning, God created the sun, the sky, the sea, and the land. Then he created the animals and walked upon the earth, but he found it too tedious. He outsourced it. The theme song is a bop. Oh, really? Is that from the anime? From Heaven's design team? Alright, I'm going to look up Heaven's design team. I want to see what these characters look like. I am very picky with my anime, so I don't want that to be like a slight. You know, it's all, you know, it's like, can't argue with taste, so it's fine if you like it. And I don't. Oh, it's kind of got a classic vibe about it. Okay. It looks like an utterly delightful little. Oh yeah. Interesting. You know, it's got like a mixture. You know what it looks like? It's like a mixture of It's got a little bit of like old Astro Boy with the way that the eyes are done. They definitely go for the big eyes in that. I kind of Oh, that's cute. That is yeah. It's a little. It's got a little bit of a '90s vibe. Little kind of like old school Tezuka big ol' eyes animation style, or a little bit like um not Tezuka. Oh yeah, no, I meant Tezuka. Yeah, Otomo was the other one I was thinking of. Okay, okay, yeah, okay. I might check this out, Katie May. Right? Thank you. This looks delightful. It also looks very charming. I am. It looks cute. Um, Ghostly, also random question. What time last year were you working on the Haunted House script? That was the first script I wrote on stream. So that would have been. I actually think my 1 year. It was post affiliate. I don't know. I gotta figure out, but it would have been. It would have been sometime around now, March or April. I think Ghostly. I think it was about March or April. Have you watched any more Freerun? I have. I just got up to what I assume is now the school arc, which I might lose steam on it because I really don't like school arcs, man. But yes, the wizard school. They've just gotten to the wizard school thing. I mean, some of the characters are fun, but man, I academy arcs are not my jam. We'll see. We'll see if they keep it interesting. I think I'm like on episode 19, so I still got a few more to fully catch up. Dude got outsourcing. His work is legit hilarious. Yeah, that looks funny. That looks absolutely fun. I might have paraphrased a bit of the synopsis, but that's the gist of it. And the theme song is being a bop in my. Okay, all right. I'm adding it to my list. Thank you, Katie May Wright, because I'm always looking for good new anime, and the character designs don't make me want to die inside. So thank you for that. Adult Swim just came out with an anime called Ninja Kamu. It's straight up 90s anime with modern mixed design. Interesting, okay. Ghostly, how time flies, indeed. I was just a wee bean back then, pre-1000 days. You were pre-1000 days. Small Ghostly, before now big Ghostly. Alright. I have carried us way too far beyond the end of our sprint time. So, let's go ahead and get started on this. This will be the last sprint. After this, I'm going to read Maya's, at least the beginning of Maya's story, Outsiders. All right. Let us get a rolling. Happy writing, everybody, and we'll see you on the other side. Away we go. Oh snap, and we got a raid from Worthy Advisor. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you, Worthy Advisor? How was the stream? Hope all is well. Hope all is well. Hello, hello, hello. We come a raiding. Welcome, welcome. We're just in the middle of a sprint at the moment. Getting the words done. But welcome in. How was the stream? How did everything go? Good. It was a weird Wednesday. I feel like the vibes have been weird this Wednesday for sure. I definitely have been feeling the vibes, the weird vibes. I almost had to cancel stream because of work nonsense, so I get it. Strange vibes. But I got some good editing done. Fantastic. So all good. Good. Yep. And I'm managing to get a little bit done as well. So let's continue on getting work done and words done in the middle of the bizarre vibes of the Wednesday. Bizarre Wednesday vibes. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Feel free to just hop on in. We're going to finish up this sprint, and then I'm going to be doing some live reading after that. All right. I'm going to go ahead and mute just so we're not bothering too many people right now there. But yes, I forgot to unmute during my first break. Crack me up. That is really good. That is really good. I like that. All right. All right. Back to the writing. We will hopefully continue on the good vibes and get the words done. Alrighty, there we are, everybody. That's the end of that sprint. And here we are. Perfect. Alright, I'm going to, let's see here. Can I just bring up another window? Free Red's literal name means to be cold. Cigarette for that. Oh, nice. I didn't know that. That makes sense, though. Everything about that makes sense. All right. Let me see if I can bring this up. Yeah, Stark means strong. That's all German, right? Free run. Is it German? Yeah, it's all German. That makes sense. Gotta use that German. My shoulder partially dislocated this morning, so I'm very slow today. Oh no, Cryptid, why? No. That sounds awful. Oh god. Oh, is it back? Is it alright? But I can aim for a little bit while the meds kick in. Oh, your shoulder just does that. It just pops out. That's horrifying. Oh boy, I'm sorry. That's terrible. Yeah, the author pasted words into a translator and said good enough. Yeah, that makes sense. That checks out for a manga. For sometimes the manga they gotta move things fast. Yep. Pop the shoulder back in there. We gotta match the wrist. Yeah, that's awful. Yeah, just for fun and torture? Yeah, that's terrible. Oh, I'm sorry. That is... Oof. Alright, I'm gonna switch this. Let's see if I can just switch this over to... Let's see if I can. There's notions above that, so that should... Oh, there we go. Okay, so that popped that up. Cool. Okay, that worked. Alright, I was able to get that. Pop that, Oh, I did. I have no fear. I'll be better once the laptop is on in 1 sec. Oh, man, that's rough. That's rough life. Alright, I will be right back, and then we're just gonna hop straight into this, because I'm definitely gonna have to be done on the earlier side, because I've got to make myself food before I go to my meeting, and I have to leave for my meeting at 7:20, so gotta make sure I have time to eat. Alright, I'll be right back, and then we'll get started. Okay, alright, back. Right, I do this correctly? Okay. Let's see. HEDs is fun. Is a fun form of body horror, and more people should put it in horse. HEDs, yeah, I don't know. Body horror is already a little much for me, and I like horror. Wildly untapped mind of chronically ill horror pro tags. Good to know for anybody doing that who wants to lean into the Cronenberg style of body horror. All right. Okay. So, disclaimer before we get started. This was Maya's submission, I believe, to the light novel. The light novel thing that Maya. Yeah, I remember you posting about it, Maya. So, disclaimer before we start. I didn't even realize that anyone out there wanted me to read their stuff on stream live, because I am certainly not a. I do not write prose, nor am I certainly not an editor. So, anything I have to say while just outside of just vibes and me reacting, your mileage will absolutely vary. So, just gonna throw that out there. I was genuinely shocked when you all asked that you wanted this. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, yep. All right. So this is the draft that was submitted. Cool. Perfect. Ghostly, you finished the field notes. You finished the field notes. Well done, Mr. Cat. One more chapter edit, and this draft is done. Awesome. Congrats, Mr. Cat. That is great. Maya Archie, I'm conceited. I like it when people read my stuff just because. Okay, well, if it's just for validation for you, Maya, there you go. There you go. All right. The field guide is done. Woohoo. Thank you, Ghostly. Finishing the field guide. I cannot wait to see it and read it. All right. Let's go ahead and get started on this, so I can at least I at least want to get like 20 minutes of this. 20 minutes of this done because, Maya did pay those free coins that you get from watching the channel for me to read this, so gotta make it worth the coin cost, right? the strange coins that I don't understand. All right, okay, and off we go to the races. Where should you put it? Just put it anywhere in the Discord. You can put it in the general. Yep. I paid a hefty sum of 15K. I am poor. My family has no food. Good, Maya. That's I hope this is I deliver a purely mediocre response for starving your family. It's terrible. Okay, chapter 1: A boy and a girl. And this is called The Outsiders. Life in a Strange Land. Okay. An odd and powerful sense of warning rushed over me like a wave and fled down my spine. Something was off, wrong even, like someone wanted to hurt me and I hadn't the faintest clue why. I opened my eyes and expected a bright white light. There had been a flash before I passed out, but it was gone. In its place was a girl. She was on her knees, crouched over me. Her face filled my vision, her head directly over mine, and I heard her laying into me with her words. There's a problem, though. I couldn't understand a lick of what she was saying. Yeah, I was a little drowsy, like I'd woken up from a 1,000-year slumber, but I couldn't tell it was. But I could tell it wasn't English. Okay. Her long hair hung down in my face, dark chestnut and wavy. Her piercing blue eyes were the same color as the sky that broke through the forest canopy. "Get up!" she yelled. She was speaking English. I shot up from my laying position out of pure instinct to flee from the strange girl, and my forehead slammed into hers. I fell back on the ground, only to shoot up again and squirm away. "That hurt, you idiot," she growled through her teeth. I crawled to the nearest surface I could press my back to, rubbed my soon-to-be bruise, and got a good look at her charging at me. This might just be me, but I could press my back to, I could probably lose that. Professional editorial opinion here. But I crawled to the nearest surface, rubbed my soon-to-be bruise, or I crawled to the nearest wall or something like that. I feel like surface is too vague. rubbed my soon-to-be bruise, and got a good look at her charging at me. Her forehead was red, and her facial expression resembled that of a raging bull. Dirt fell off her back, and blue long sleeve. Dirt fell off her back and blue long sleeve shirt. Let's see, her forehead was red, and her facial expression resembled that of a raging bull. Dirt fell off her back and blue long sleeve shirt. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Oh, and she had a big kitchen knife in her hand. Okay, so if you're gonna do the and she had a big kitchen knife in her, who are you? Grammatically, this might need to change a little bit. I don't know. This the short sentence and then the sort of like internal monologue here feels a little stilted. Who are you? My mouth opened, but only sputters of air came out. Whether it was out of caution or nervousness, my vocal cords wouldn't work. Sorry. I couldn't even get my brain to form a proper thought. Our eye contact broke for a moment, and she leapt forward. Her hand gripped the collar of my shirt, and the tip of the knife was an inch away from my face. Hey, I asked you a question. I wriggled and wormed out of her grip, then fell to the floor as if I had no form. Her sudden attack jump started my brain, and I thought, what the hell is wrong with you? I was wiggling and wormed out of her grip, then I fell to the floor as if I had no form. I'd probably just kill that as if I had no form. I wiggled and wormed out of her grip, then fell to the floor. Her sudden attack jump-started my brain, and I thought, what the hell is wrong with you? I think I see what you're saying with jump-started. It's just... her sudden attack jump-start. Okay, I see what you're saying. No, that's fine. She must have read my mind. The girl's eyes widened, her aggressive posture slacked, and she pressed her tongue to the inside of her cheeks as she stood there, embarrassed. Sorry. She slid the knife into the front pocket of her capris and approached me with a smile. Wow, you're tiny. I'm not that small. Get away from me. Are you crazy? Cryptid, I can offer some input, but I asked before I do, because you don't want... maybe you don't want critique, and it's totally cool if you don't, just want vibes. I mean, I'm critiquing, so it's fair. I think it's fair. Honestly, if anything, Cryptid is, as long as it's like, you know, like don't be mean. But yeah, I was gonna say Cryptid is an editor, like a professional editor. If anyone's gonna get way better advice from anybody, it's probably gonna be better advice from Cryptid. I can literally only go based on the flow of how I read it and what sounds or feels awkward. Yeah. So yeah, I absolutely go ahead, Cryptid. Do you want this to be scary, or do you want more of a dark comedy vibe? I think I know the vibe you're going for, but I'll let Maya respond to that. Okay, I do like the italices. I do like using the italics, Maya. I'm glad you're sticking with that. I'm a big fan of you using that in interesting ways. Whoever, that one person who gave you the note about not being able to use italics or it confused them, I'm just like, Faulkner, man. Faulkner does it all the time. Faulkner does it in way worse and more confusing ways, though. It's not horror at all. I think Maya has a pretty good idea of the genre. It's isekai fantasy for sure. I know that that's what you're going for, Maya. Is very specifically isekai teleported into new world fantasy. And what I would consider this is the isekai fantasy version of a meet cute between the two main characters is how I would probably describe the vibe you're going for. The way I put it, fantasy isekai adventure with slice of life elements. Got it. Yeah. And you are leaning into the sort of you're kind of leaning into a meet cute is kind of what you're going for here between the two lead characters. But it's like the fantasy like isekai fantasy meet cute. Sorry, anyway. I'm not that small. Get away from me. Are you crazy? It's adult. Yes. Yeah, it's adult, not kids, so yes, at times dark comedy. Yep. She forced me onto my feet and leaned against the wall. Despite my futile attempt to despite my futile attempt to pull away from her. You're weak, and like half my height as well. She rustled my already messy hair. Yeah, she forced my feet, leaned me against the wall. Despite my futile attempt to pull away from her. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. First thing I would do is lean more into the weird with those opening lines. What does she feel? What does she feels wrong? How does that affect the main character on an emotional level aside from afraid? So you're saying lean into the more emotional, like using more emotional language. Yeah. Let's see. She forced me despite my futile attempt to pull. Okay. You're weak and like half my height as well. She rustled my already messy short black hair. I stood eyes to collarbone with her. Looks like you're only a head taller than me, crazy woman girl. She placed her hands on her hips and asked, "What's your name?" I didn't respond. Her eyes narrowed. What's your name? I didn't respond. Her eyes narrowed, and when I didn't answer her, "How old are you?" I hung my head and glanced up at her, afraid that she would bring the knife back out. If she is crazy, I should say something and play along. But I don't think I've ever spoken to someone outside of my parents and instructors. And that was a bare minimum of the yes or no. I can't do it. Now, remind me again, Maya, the italics are... the italics are what he's thinking right now, right? Is that how that works? So it's like the rest of it's him narrating, but the italics are like the immediate thought in the brain, right? That's how you did it? Because it's like a time thing, if I remember correctly. It's the internal voice. Yeah, because what the hell is wrong with you? Okay, yeah, so it's the internal voice. Yeah, italics are present tense thoughts. Yes, got it. Yeah, that's I remember you were doing something with that. Yes. I hung my head and glanced up at her, afraid that she would bring the knife back out. If she is crazy, I should say something and play along, but I don't think I've ever spoken to someone outside my parents and instructors. And that was the bare minimum of yes or no, I can't do it. So the only thing I would say here is it's a lot easier for the present thought italics. The way you've got it here above is keeping them short. I might keep this shorter. Because you start to, it starts to read like I'm not. The distinction between the two, the past tense narration and then the present tense narration just throws me a little bit here. It works up here. All this stuff works. Let's see here. She sighed and slumped her shoulders way down like Quasimodo. Way down like Quasimodo, then straightened back up. With her right hand over her chest and left on her hip, she said, "I'm Theresa Jansen. I'm 13." See, this is where I feel like the screenwriter in me is gonna start trumping prose, and I feel bad. So obviously take it with a grain of salt, because I feel like this is just too detailed. She sighed and slumped her shoulders way down like Quasimodo, then straightened back up. I feel like I don't need that little... Or that could be phrased in a different way that's easier and feels less like literal. That just feels too literal and too... Yeah. Too and then in terms of just minute body actions, like body language. With her right hand over her chest and the left on her hip, she said, "I'm Theresa Jansen," or, I probably, I guess I just like moment to moment movement. Yeah. No, I can tell you write like that. You definitely write like that. I just sometimes if you do too much moment to moment, it can become boring to read, and which is what you don't want, particularly with the kind of genre you're going for. With like it's isekai, it needs to be breezy. I'm Theresa Jansen. I'm 13. Theresa Jansen, or yeah, is it with a J with an accent? Yeah, she's probably European. Teresa. I felt it detrimental to my health to not respond to her attempts to converse, but I was well beyond nervous. So I nodded and hoped it would. I felt it was. I counted for that. I noticed you did that, Maya, which is really funny. Good job for catching me while I'm reading it. It's the Hermione moment where it takes 3 books for everybody to stop mispronouncing her name. Yeah, I agree with the big block of italics. Testing is more telling, not showing. I want to see more of the character notes through their actions. How does the quiet withdraw? Okay, yeah. I'll go ahead and let you give your notes scripted, because they're probably going to be far more like to prose and actual stories than mine are. Her eyes lit up like a Christmas tree, and a smile streaked across her face. She shook her fist in front. Of her, full of excitement. You could probably just say shook her fist. You don't need to say the in front of her part. She shook her fist, full of excitement. I don't think you need the in front of her. Like we know what that means. Like I know you're detailing like she's doing it like this, but I feel like she shook her fist and full of excitement kind of conveys the same idea. No, you're good, Cryptid. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I know. You're waiting for those meds to kick in. Though you're... sorry. Yes, I made a new friend, which is an adorable thing to say. She then looked at me and continued, though you're kind of weird. What the hell does that mean? What person right in the mind... What person right in the mind threatens someone in their new... I feel like you'd say what person... what person in their right mind threatens someone in their own home? Are they in a home? Wait, are they inside? Did I miss that part? Okay, that might be a thing, unless I missed that earlier. For some reason, I thought they were outside. You might want to clarify where they are earlier, particularly if you have an internal line like in their own home, because that throws me. What the hell does that mean? What person right in the mind threatens someone in their own home? You're a crazy girl. You're the crazy girl with the knife. I noticed the ivory handle that's stuck out of her pocket. Wait a second. That's the knife from the kitchen. Why does she have it? Yeah, you might want to specify the location earlier on. Theresa looked up, down, Theresa looked up, down, and all around with her hand over her chin, then back at me. Do you know where we are? Where we are? It was then that the mental veil had lifted. Okay, yeah, see. You might want, like, I understand that you're kind of like it's doing the experience of coming to, but if you want to still have that where he's just literally been focusing on this insane situation with her, you might want to, and I know he thinks he came from his own home, but I don't know that like, I'm more detailing the moments that give me pause as I'm reading it, that confuse me, or not confuse me, but take a second for me to kind of figure out what's happening. Because it's good for me to experience the character being confused, but you don't want me to be confused. Or at least that confused. A little bit of confusion's fine. Mystery's fine, just not that confused. Let's see. It was then that the mental veil had lifted and my surroundings faded into view. In every direction were mega-sized trees so wide that a house could fit in the trunks. Each one a skyscraper. In every direction were mega-sized trees so wide that a house could fit. Okay, yeah, they could fit in the trunks. Each one a skyscraper. Yeah, so giant, like, redwood-type trees. Um, what? I felt dizzy, queasy, and my breathing became labored. I felt like I was about to pass out. Why am I outside? I've never been outside before. I don't like this. Where's my... I fell forward and threw up a clear, mucusy liquid. Eureka caught me with her arms under mine and kept me from face planting into what I expelled. Whoa, are you okay? I think you could probably just be like, Eureka caught me with her arms under mine and kept me from face planting into my vomit. You probably don't need to say what I expelled. You probably just do vomit. Whoa, are you okay? My legs steadied and I looked up at her. No. I was back in reality, but reality wasn't where I wanted to be. Where's my kitchen and the books I was reading? I'll see. Yeah, okay, I see. I see what you're doing, Maya. Cause like, yeah, I know because he thinks he's in his house. That's why he's like, why would you attack me at my own house? The problem is it's so disjointed. It's confusing as I'm immediately reading it. I'm trying to think of a good way for you to capture the experience of that. The experience of putting you in his experience of I'm in my own home. You might just need to literally say, where's my home, or something like that. You might have to just be more literal about it at the beginning. Like, even it comes to, because that's the only reason is because like I get what you're doing. It's just it's coming across either it's coming across either too slow or too fast, and that's the only thing that's kind of throwing me a little bit. Like I get the experience you're going for, the kind of transition. Oh whoa, everything's confusing, which isn't an easy thing to do. That's actually, I feel like trying to write being captured by something like that is confusing or like surreal and insane is actually one of the harder things to do and make it make sense. Too slowst. I like that, Maya. Yeah, exactly. Too slowst. Let's see here. Okay. Oh crap, that's the timer. Okay, well I'm gonna finish this idea because I want to keep going for a little bit. My legs steadied and I looked up at her. Also because I think this is good. My legs steadied and I looked up at her. No. I was back in reality, but I was on... Yeah. Where's my kitchen? And the books. And the books I was reading. I stood on my own and looked around once more. There was junk scattered everywhere. Silverware, plates, a mattress. I was stepping on a blanket under a cluster of cookies, chips, and a few bottles of soda. Some of this stuff looks like it's from my kitchen. But whose is the rest? No books around either. I'd probably do something like some of this stuff looks like it's from my kitchen, but what's the rest of this? Like, I don't think you need to be like, who's it belong to? You just be like, but what's the rest? It's kind of mostly just trying to simplify the language a little bit. No books around either. She lowered herself and looked into my eyes. You don't look it. In a matter of minutes, she went from pissed to outwardly worried. Maybe I was wrong thinking it was your fault I'm out here. Let's see. Excuse me. How would I do something like that? Excuse me, how would I do so? Do I look strong enough to pull that off? I guess she doesn't know that I'm ill. Still ridiculous. I like that, Maya. I like still ridiculous. It's great. That's a good little tidbit at the end. I like that. So the main character would comment that it's cold, hot, maybe the aircon isn't working, there's a weird smell or draft window open. Maya, I like that idea. Oh, good. Think of ways to help tease out that they're outside without saying it flat out. That's a good idea. That's a way better idea than just my, like, blunt say it's outside. Let me add that to my notes. Yeah, that's good. That way when you reveal it, it's jarring and makes sense. Yeah, exactly. Draft done. Good job, Mr. DeCat. One more to go. Huzzah. All right. Sorry. Still ridiculous. My mind was overwhelmed and my head hurt. There was too much going on all at once. I closed my eyes really hard, then slowly opened them again. All right. I like that. That little moments. This is really good. going at once. I close my eyes really hard, then open again. And I like the internal, like, all right. Like, kind of like the... That's a good, like, internal world moment for this character, is him just trying to center himself and figure this shit out. I like that's a good little moment. Three, Eureka mumbled to herself. Looks like I have to take care of you, naturally. Then she truly assessed the situation at hand. Yeah, you don't need truly there. You could probably even make that one. So it looks like I'll have to take care of you. Take care of you naturally. She assessed, as she assessed the situation or something like that. Do you think we're in a park? The only time I've seen these kinds of trees was when I went camping with the scouts, and that was in a park, I think. Why would we be all the way out here? Does it not strike you as odd that all this stuff is out here in the middle of nowhere? That in itself is odd. Is she dumb? I feel like these little inserts just need to be short. They need to be like single thought inserts. Like, some of these can be a little longer, but notice the ones that work really well for me are like the all right, and the like those sorts of bits. I feel like keeping them contained is going to be better. Eureka shrugged. Well, we better get moving. We can't find our way home if we don't. Then pocketed the 2 bottles of soda. Do what? She glanced at me with a confident grin, pointed at a random direction, and started walking with no further inquiries about the situation. Yeah, that connects the Rhea. It's what most folks would do in this situation. Yeah, exactly. I had to do research if there were redwoods in Belgium. Oh, yeah. Are there? I actually don't know that. Are there redwoods in Belgium? I mean, I know the ones up here in Northern California, but... let's see, what time is it? Okay. That's it. That's it. No going over the moment. She glanced at me with a confident grin, pointed in a random direction, and started walking with no further inquiries about the situation. That's it? No going over the moment-to-moment leading to this? I'll start. I was home in my kitchen. Things went bright purple-blue, then black. Now we're here. Wasn't it similar for you? When people started disappearing all over the world, did you not pay attention to something? Are you that dense, Miss Scout? Do you even know what direction you're heading in? Like, this thing, I would maybe make this part of this dialogue instead of, like, this whole... I mean, I know the internal monologue is kind of what you're going for, but I might actually have him vocalize this instead of making it a big, long internal rant. If you are going to have an internal rant, like, save those moments for when they really matter. She must have assumed that I would naturally follow her. Yeah, I know. He's not... Oh, that's right. He's not... That's right. I forgot that your character doesn't talk. Okay. Then if you really want him to have this moment, I would trim it down. Just have it, instead of it being like the, just have it be like that, you know, it's like starting walking with no further inquiries to the situation. That's it. Instead of being no going over moment to moment leading this, I'll start. I was home in my kitchen. That's it. I was home in my kitchen. That things, you know, then a bunch of purple, a bunch of blue, and now we're here. Like, this is crazy, and then move on. Like, keep it tight like this. Yeah. I think some of it needs to be explicated out more, and then some of it needs a little bit of, like, yes, like, making it more efficient. Some of the beat-to-beat moments, I think you just need to let them flow a little bit more. Like, I don't think you need all the beat-to-beat moments. She must have... I guess the hardest thing is you're not just describing what's happening, you're trying to get to the heart of what's happening as you're describing it. So it's like, there needs to be more behind just describing the scene, or describing what's happening. You need to kind of know the feeling behind it, the heart of it, what's at the core of it, and then try to let that flow out in your descriptions, because that's going to tell you what descriptions are most important and what are least. She must have assumed that I would naturally follow her because she didn't look back once. If she had, she would have seen that I hadn't budged. I didn't agree with her headstrong, unwavering certainty that she was taking proper precaution. I also didn't agree with the breeze crawling up my back, so I caught up quickly. I like that little tag at the end. I also didn't agree with the breeze crawling up my back, so I quickly caught up. That's a good little tag end moment there. So I think that works. Okay, all right, Maya, we're gonna call it there. I know we just literally read the first little tidbit before the mid chapter break. But I am going to have to call stream there, everybody. But I'm pretty sure you're gonna get a lot more from Cryptid than you're gonna get from me. That's so. I hope whatever little tidbits you got from me made that useful to you. But I think in terms of proper editorial critique, Cryptid definitely seems like a wealth of info there. Lean more into being with someone who doesn't talk. Then how does he feel? How does he feel when she asks him when she doesn't answer? Is this an odd frustration to him? Why doesn't he leave the house? Yeah. You need more emotional details to set the tone to. Otherwise, the reader doesn't know how to feel. Yeah, I think for me, it's definitely the simplifying the internal monologue and then getting kind of the feeling, the moods behind him. That would be my big note from this first read. Ghostly, very nice. It's a great. I mean, I've read the rewrites a lot. The rewrite flows a lot better, Maya, than your earlier draft that you sent me. What, almost a year ago, 6-8 months ago. I think it just still needs some cleaning. It still needs, and it's not even like big, broad structural cleaning. Like all the beats are there. Your scenes are polished and work. It's just cleaning up the language and kind of the convey what you're trying to convey through the language. That's it. That's my note. Got a great premise, just make close-up details, but you're on the right track. Yep, I'd say I agree with that. Yeah, but expressing all that at once leaves less for later. Drip feed is what I'm going for. It's shown over length. That's true, but you don't want to leave people because then people are just going to bounce off the story. You definitely you want to be careful about what you're saving. So you don't need to reveal everything at once, but I will say, and this is a rule in screenwriting, and they tell you this: if you have an idea for a big long series, and you're writing they do it with TV pilots, so you're like, here's the pilot script, and I'm writing a pilot, and then the idea is that all this stuff happens, and then the season ends on this cliffhanger. The first note you're almost always gonna get on that pilot is that season ending thing needs to be the end of your pilot. So everything you just did, don't save it. How the rule is oh, you got hit by an ad. Oh no. The rule for me has always been I feel bad. He got hit by I got hit by ads. Yeah, we'll go and do that, and then I will leave it with that. Actually, I'll use this as an opportunity to figure out who else is on. Does anyone have another streamer that is currently on that they love and adore, that they want us to raid? Let me look up and see who's on. I see Coffee's on. Ad attack. I know. I'm sorry, ads. I do what I can. I'm sorry. Oh, yay! The Memoir of Advice. Perfect. Yay, Ghostly. There we go. But if anybody has another... I'm excited to look it up. Perfect. All right, let's see who is on. Yeah, I'm very excited to read. Yep. Coffee and strawberry. Oh, Strawberry Bell. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, and coffee. Oh, yeah, and coffee. Coffee's. Why is coffee not showing up? Oh, it's because I looked up writers. That's why. Does everyone have a preference? Everyone want to go say hi to Strawberry Bell or coffee? If anyone's got a preference, shout it out. But if the ads are over, let me finish my thought with with the Maya, because Strawberry Bell and coffee are both delightful and can continue your writing journey. Oh, there we go. You're back. Okay, good. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is going to be, Maya, is if don't ever use the I'm. If you ever have the feeling that you're saving something and you're trying to trickle down info, more than likely that means if people are asking for that you need it needs to be pushed up front. It needs to be pushed into the thing. So, like, it needs to be pushed earlier. So the theories goes is have enough confidence in the story that you can move that stuff up. You can move that stuff up into the front. And I don't think you need everything in there, but I think you need more. Because that's clearly the feeling we're getting. Always, oh my god, you're still here. I know, I'm just getting ready to raid. So let's go ahead and raid Strawberry Belle. But it's looking really good, Maya. And I'm gonna read the rest of it on or off stream. But for now, I think we are going to raid Strawberry Belle. But thank you everybody for hanging out. I hope having me read stories wasn't too terrible for y'all. But we'll be back on Friday with more writing sprints and work along. So I love you all. Cryptid, I hope you feel better. Lex, have a lovely night in time zone. And yeah, we'll see you all then. But till then, happy words, self-care, all the good things. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Love you all. Adios.